Terrell, what was your favorite thing of this year? Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is my first video of 2018. Very exciting video, very important video. I'm rounding up all my favorite items from the past year, all my favorite beauty items, which is very serious. It's a very serious matter. I'm gonna be going through all the best products. I went through all my videos for the past year, whether it was favorites or like get ready with me videos, because I use a lot of favorite products in get ready with me videos. I know when I said in 2016 I was gonna leave behind winged liner, which didn't last very long. I have a very fat wing today, but I like this kind of wing. It's better than just like a real sharp one. It's easier for me. I said I was gonna leave behind wings and bodysuits. Bodysuits it's not something that I want. It's not something I want to do. It's not really like a choice. It's like wearing pants, like real pants. You know what I mean? Kind of one of those things where you just have to do it sometimes. This year, what am I leaving behind? Oh, I'm leaving behind sweetener. John is too, right honey? We're not ready to leave creamer in 2017. I tried and I didn't actually. No. I did not. You guys, I tried to get no cream in my coffee. I tried to drink black coffee. I'm just not ready. I'm gonna try to start drinking like cold brew from this meal prep place that we go to. Are you gonna get on that? I think I'm gonna get up in the cold brew. Get up in its ass. Anyway, so I am very excited to see what 2018 has in store for us product-wise. I'm feeling lots of concealers, lots of new foundations. We've had a lot of full coverage foundations come out this year, like full coverage. So I'm thinking maybe more luminous foundations will be coming out. All right, so I'm gonna start with foundation because I started with foundation last year and I feel like it's the most important. Now, I'm gonna be sharing a luminous foundation and an extremely full coverage foundation. Last year, my tops were L'Oreal Pro Glow Pro Matte and the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. I still love those foundations. I use Maybelline Matte and Poreless all the time. I haven't used Pro Glow in a while, surprisingly. I don't know why, maybe because I just don't have it. I ran out or something. But I still really love all those foundations. They are definite favorites of mine, but I have two foundations here that I'm gonna be sharing with you. So the first foundation, best of 2017 for me, is gonna be the Armani Luminous Silk. If you guys watch my videos or my Snapchat, this is probably not much of a surprise. I was a little bit weary of putting this in here because it's so expensive and you have to use a lot of it. There's a lot of things that I don't like about this, those being one of them. But I just really like this foundation. I love the undertones in this product. That's one of the main reasons why I love this foundation. I use shade 4 and shade 6, and it just has a really nice olive undertone in it. I feel like it's just been the best undertone that I've found in a foundation. And I just really like the finish of the Luminous Silk foundation. I think it's really beautiful for a lighter to more medium coverage. And my other favorite foundation of this year is a newer product. I did a video on it, and this is one that I reach toward very often, but I don't use it by itself, mainly because I'm not like a super full coverage foundation kind of person all over the face. But that is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Cream Foundation. All right, so the Jouer foundation, it has less in the bottle. It is a little bit more expensive, but this is like a very concentrated formula. You really don't need a lot for your face. And if you like really full coverage all over, I feel like this is a foundation that you would really like. I like to use this in the center of my face or in areas that I just need a little bit more coverage, so like on my cheeks or something like that. But I also love to mix this. This is like one of my favorite foundations to mix. And I know a lot of people are like, no, I'm not mixing my foundation. If that's my foundation, that's the only foundation I'm gonna wear, which I totally get, totally makes sense. But I'm a mixer. I love mixing different foundations and making different cocktails, making different shades, mixing matte and luminous foundations. I just love mixing foundations. But I'm the shade Fawn in this one, and I just think it's a really great full coverage foundation. Very full coverage, but it doesn't look heavy on the face, and that's why I put this one in here. All right, next item I have is an honorable mention. Can I do honorable mention? One time. So I'm putting in an honorable mention for foundation just because this is a very new product for me. This is the NARS Natural Radiant Long Wear Foundation. You see my tiny little sample bottle here. So they sent this to me. I can't remember when I tried it. It was probably a few weeks ago, but I've been wearing it pretty often. I'm wearing it right now, the shade Fiji. And I'm also wearing it mixed with Armani. I know, I'm telling you, I mix Armani with everything. I've used Stromboli, but I think it might be like, the undertones might be a little bit too yellow for me. So I really like Fiji. This foundation has such a beautiful finish. It has a really nice full coverage, very long wearing. Every time I've worn it, I'm like, wow, this looks really, really good. So this is like my honorable mention, mainly because it hasn't been out long enough for me to be like, oh my God, this is the best of the year. You might see this in like 2018, best of 2018 video. I just gotta get my feelings out there on this particular product. All right, next category I'm gonna be talking about is concealer. And last year I had Tarte Shape Tape in my best of. So Shape Tape is still like my best of 2017 concealer. I mean, I'm just gonna be real. It's my go-to everyday concealer. If I'm wearing foundation, that's what I like to use to highlight under my eyes. So I'm not putting that in here, but just let it be known that it is still my favorite. I really thought that this year somebody would come out with something similar or maybe even something better than Shape Tape. But it's still just like my favorite concealer of all time to highlight. But the other concealer I want to talk about is from Sephora collection, which is the Make No Mistake High Coverage Concealer. And it comes in a tube like this. It is a thicker, very full coverage concealer. This is what I love to use for spot concealing. I can use it on hyperpigmentation, any blemishes that I might have. It just does such a good job. I don't use this to highlight around my under eyes. Like I don't use it on top of my foundation like here because it's a little bit thicker and it doesn't dry down quite like another thinner concealer does. So they have a good color selection. It's pretty affordable and there's a lot of product in here and I just think it's a really good full coverage concealer. And then the next concealer, I actually do not use for concealer, but I use it on my eyes. This is the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer in the shade Whiteout. So for days that I want to do like a cut crease or just carve out the crease or do something like a brighter color on the lid or something shimmery, this is what I like to use. A lot of people love to use like the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pots, which I used for a really long time. My eyelids, I think, are just too dry for them now. Something just happened. So it's hard for me to use like paint pots on my eyes, especially because they kind of dry out a little bit quicker too, just the paint pot itself. But this product, I love the fact that it's white. Obviously you could use like a skin tone concealer if you wanted to, but this one I feel like makes whatever shadow I put on top of it pop. It makes it look brighter when it has a white base. So I really love this concealer. It doesn't crease on my lids at all, which is pretty incredible. But I just love this one for using on my eyes. I think it's such a great tool to have. Next category for best of 2017 is blush. I feel like I'm pretty predictable when it comes to blushes. I love peachy, bronzy, sometimes a kiss of pink blush. So this year, my favorite blushes, and don't get me wrong, I still love Ofra Raisin and Apricot, okay? Don't think that I don't. But this year, my favorite blushes that I wanted to put in here are the Laura Geller Blush and Brighten Baked Blushes. This is my favorite color. I brought this one out too, Honeysuckle, but this one is Sunswept, which is my absolute favorite. This is Honeysuckle. This one you can see it's just got a little bit more pink in it. And it's not quite as shimmery as Sunswept, but this one still looks really good. The main thing that I liked about these when I first saw them was the fact that they were really bronzy. They had a lot of bronze tones in them, as you can tell. And I just love like bronzy, raisiny, warm, peachy blushes. They're just like my jam. These ones, they just look really good on the skin. I mean, I don't think I could ever go through an entire blush. They're pretty big. I feel like people are sleeping on them, but there's just something about them that I really love. This one in particular is my favorite because it has a lot of gold in it. Even when I don't use this blush, if I use something matte, I'll put a highlight on the tops of my cheeks now. So I feel like this blush kind of turned me onto that, and I just love this product. I think it's amazing. I'm not crazy about the packaging. It doesn't affect me in any way. If I saw it in store, I probably wouldn't be automatically drawn to it, if that makes sense. And the other blush that I wanted to put in here is from NYX, and this is Away We Glow. This is an illuminating powder. So I'm assuming that means it's like a highlight product. It's a quad of 4 different colors, and it looks like one of them is matte and 3 of them are probably more of like a sheen. They have a sheen to them. And this is the color Summer Shimmer Thrill. Oh my God, I think I've been saying Summer Thrill this whole time. But it's called Shimmer Thrill.
You got that limited edition one.
Yeah, I got the limited edition Summer Thrill that doesn't exist. So as you can see, it has similar tones as the Laura Geller one. Laura Geller does have like more pink, a little bit of pink marbling in there. So very similar tones, kind of more peachy, warm, earthy. But I just love the way these look on the cheeks. And you can even like, if I'm doing like a little bit like lower cheek area, I'll use these two. And then I'll do like upper cheek, I'll use these two and maybe put like this on the apples of my cheeks kind of thing. I feel like you can kind of make a little cocktail of blush on your cheeks. That's one of my favorite blushes for this year. Will be coming with me into 2018. All right, so now I have my top highlighters of 2017. So I love our whole Desi x Katy collection. I could easily slide that into best of 2017 for everything. But I am putting in our Dose of Colors Desi x Katy highlighter in the shade Fuego. This is, like, without a doubt, my daily go-to highlighter for any purpose whatsoever. Like, I love this shade so much. I love the formula. I love the color. I love to wear it on my cheekbones. I'm wearing it right now. I wear it on my nose, Cupid's bow. I'll put it on top of cream highlighter on my body. It's just my favorite highlight ever. This is just my favorite product and I really wanted to put this in here. Next highlighter that I wanted to share with you guys is, in my opinion, one of the best drugstore highlighters. So this is from Maybelline and this is the Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter in the shade Molten Gold. This formula is just incredible. It's very smooth, very soft. It looks really pretty on the skin. You can build it up. You can wear it on the body. I'll swatch it next to Fuego so you guys can see the difference. Here's Fuego and here is Molten Gold. A little bit rosier, a little bit more beige over here, but still a really beautiful highlight. And then my last favorite highlighter of 2017 is actually a cream or liquid highlighter, and it is from e.l.f. I love, love, love this product. So there's a couple different ways that I like to use this. I could put some of this on my beauty blender like before I set my under eyes and just tap it up on the tops of the cheekbones for a liquid highlight or cream highlighter. But I also love to use it on my body. So just like on the chest, shoulders, it looks so good on the skin. It just looks like glazed. It doesn't look frosty or anything like that. It just looks like such a pretty glaze, as you can see. Exhibit A over here. See that? Yeah, I used so much the other night for New Year's Eve. I just got a flat top kabuki brush and just covered my whole chest and shoulders in it. It just looks so good. It's so glossy without being too much. Sometimes if I put highlighter on, like my body, I can go a little bit too far. Or if I just don't feel like wearing a body oil, because sometimes it feels sticky and messy if I'm going out. I love to use this. It's like such a good product for such a good price. All right, so the next thing I have for best of 2017 is eyeshadow palettes, and I picked something that I love very, very much. This is from Dose of Colors, and I just feel like these, to me, were something that I always reach for over and over and over again. And I feel like if I just had one of these palettes, I could make a look, or if I had all four of them, I could make many different looks. So my best of 2017 for eyeshadow palettes goes to Dose of Colors for the Sassy Siennas, Baked Browns, Marvelous Mauves, and Blushing Berries eyeshadow palettes. I love that they're all matte shadows, which sometimes I have matte moments where I just want to do all matte eyeshadow, and sometimes I want to throw on something really, really shimmery. And that's what I love about these palettes, is that I can pull like one of my own favorite shimmers or a favorite glitter or a favorite reflect and blend it into one of these palettes, and I can make like a really bomb eyeshadow look, you know? So I have actually worn looks for every single one of these palettes now, and not only the formula is amazing for these, but so are just the colors in general. I feel like the colors all go together so well. So there are 5 matte shadows in each palette, and I don't know, that's like a really good amount for me for like coming up with a look. I feel like I could do something with just those shadows and feel good about it, not be overwhelmed. I'm not a person who really loves like 30 eyeshadows in a palette. It's not really my jam. I just tend to get overwhelmed. I just feel like there's so many different looks that you can create with these palettes. I'm wearing, from the Mauves palette, I'm wearing this shade in the middle, and I think I'm only wearing like 3 eyeshadow colors right now, but I just love the formula of these shadows. I love everything about them. If I had to pick a fave, one of them, okay, so I'm either going Baked Browns or Sassy Siennas. Honestly, I'm probably gonna go Baked Browns. Let's just be real. I feel like if anybody was to ask me like, hey, I'm getting my first brown eyeshadow palette, I'm getting my first palette, or I just need a really good brown eyeshadow palette or something like that, I'd be like, dude, get the Baked Browns or get the Sassy Siennas. I mean, that Sienna palette is fire, okay? I love that palette so much. So I just feel like Dose of Colors, hands down, gets best eyeshadow palettes of the year. They had the Mauves and the Browns come out earlier in the year, and then they just came out with the Berries and the Siennas, and I was like, yes, give it to me. All right, so for lipsticks this year, I was totally gonna put in Eau for Bel Air, and I just found out I used it last year. Can I still use it this year?
No.
I can't?
DQ'd.
DQ'd. So I did put in the Maybelline SuperStay Matte Ink. These liquid lipsticks are very, very nice. They are very long lasting. I'm getting the vibe that Maybelline is like one of my favorite drugstore brands. I have a lot of favorites from Maybelline. So this is the shade Loyalist. I wore this quite a few times this past year. I really love the color. I love the formula is really nice. This is a little bit more pink than Bel Air is. So let me show you guys the difference between the two. My problem that I have with this is that the color of the packaging is so much lighter than the actual lipstick. See? Like if I saw this at the drugstore, I would not pick this up. I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's like a really light pink. That's not gonna look good on me. But the actual color inside is way deeper than what's on the tube. So this is Loyalist from Maybelline, and this one is Bel Air. So Loyalist definitely has like more pinky mauve undertone, while Bel Air is a little bit more like peachy, kind of earthy, I guess is the word. So Loyalist was definitely a favorite for me. The other liquid lipstick that I want to talk about is from Makeup Forever. This is the Makeup Forever Artist Liquid Matte Liquid Lipstick. And the first few shades that I used, I was just like, wow, this is a really good formula. All right, so the two colors that I pulled from Makeup Forever are number 403 and number 505. So this is shade number 403, which is, it's not like a true bright red. This one is more of like a brick kind of undertoned red, just like a little bit more bricky. Like it leans a little bit brick. And this is shade number 505. This is a really deep, very purpley undertoned, dark, vampy lipstick color. But just this formula in general is really nice. There's a lot of nude shades in there that are very nice. I just pulled these two because these are the ones that I remember wearing throughout the year, these two shades in particular. But they have a lot of nice nude colors, like more pinky nude or more mauve-y nude. But the formula is really nice on the Makeup Forever liquid lipstick, so I definitely recommend checking them out. Next two favorites of 2017 for lip glosses. I think you guys probably already know one of the lip glosses I'm gonna put in here. Okay. So my first favorite lip gloss of 2017 is the Dose of Colors Desi x Katy Over the Top Lip Gloss. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I've already talked about this lip gloss a lot. I've used it in videos. I have worn it on Snap, worn it on Instagram. I just love this lip gloss so much. I love how glossy it is, and I love how sparkly it is, especially in direct sunlight. I can't help myself when I'm wearing it. Can't help besides like take a video of it, you know, because it just looks so good. So this is just one of those glosses where I'm just like, you know what? It is a favorite for sure of mine for the past year. I love that it's really sparkly without losing its glossiness. That's one of my favorite things about it. So I love this so much. Let me do a little swatcheroo for you guys. No, I don't want to waste it. It's kind of one of those situations. It has a little bit of no shade in here in the base, but it's a very clear gloss with a, you know the deal.
You see what it is?
You see what it is? So that was for sure one of my favorite glosses of 2017. Actually, if I had to do like favorite products in general, period, like if I had like a top 5 or something, Over the Top would be in there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say. My next favorite gloss from last year is from Fenty Beauty, and it is the Fenty Glow Gloss Bomb. The formula of this one is super nice. It's very soft, it's not sticky, and it's really glossy on the lips. But I love the applicator, like the giant doe foot. Go ahead, John, I know you wanna say doe foot. Deerfoot. The smell of this gloss is really nice. It's not really glitter that's in here, it's more of a sparkle. It's a very fine glitter, but it's still really pretty. It looks so good on the lips. I think it's a very comfortable lip gloss. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
You can wear them like with no makeup and they still just look really good. It just gives like a nice healthy gloss to the lips. It just...
Forget about it.
Exactly. All right, skincare time. So favorite skincare for the past year. The first one in here is something that I've obsessed over many times, which is the Tatcha water cream. So the water cream is a refreshing and anti-aging pore perfecting Japanese wild rose. So this is for normal to dry skin. I just feel like it rehydrates. It doesn't make your skin feel like there's a residue on it. It's a weird. If you've used it before, you know what I'm talking about, where it starts off feeling like a cream and then it feels like an actual water that absorbs into the skin really quickly, which can make you feel like you need more when you really don't. It just feels different than any other moisturizer or cream that I've used before. So my skin is a little bit drier, and this just works really well. I love it so much. Use it morning and night. I use it under makeup. Can't get enough of it. I would just bathe my face in it all day if I could. I would use this as a body moisturizer if I could. Downside is it's pretty expensive and it doesn't last that long. That's like the one thing I'm like, God, I wish there was just more in here or something. I think it's like around $60 a jar, and I would say it probably lasts me a month. Most of my skincare products that I use, which are CeraVe, which is a drugstore brand, it's like $10 to $12 a bottle that lasts me like 6 months. So you understand what I'm saying. And then I wanted to put in my favorite body moisturizer, or this is a body butter, and this is from Kiehl's. I don't know how to say this. Creme de Corps Soy Milk and Honey Whipped Body Butter. So I have the one that's in a jar like this, and I also have, this is like a little to-go size one. But this is what it looks like. It literally looks like whipped margarine, which I'm kind of into. When I first smelled it, I wasn't like super into it, but now it's kind of like one of those things where I got used to it and I'm kind of into it now, the smell. But what I love most about this body butter is it's not like, you know what I'm talking about, where it's like some of those moisturizers, they feels like it just sits on your skin, but it makes it look a little bit better. This is one of those ones that I feel like actually penetrates and hydrates my skin, which is what I really, really like about it. Kind of like how when I use regular chapstick, I feel like it's just a wax sitting on top of my lips, but when I use the Bite Beauty Agave Lip Balm, I feel like it actually hydrates my lips. So that's what I really like about this body moisturizer, body butter, especially because of how dry it's been in California. For the past few months, it's been a lifesaver for me. I put it on my feet and then put socks on, and I just feel very hydrated all over my body. All right, so last category I have to talk about is hair. All right, so the first product I'm gonna talk about for hair is from Jouer, and this is the wave spray. You guys have probably seen me use this a few times in videos. I use this not even for waves in my hair. I don't use it for anything like that, but I use this a lot for like, if I want all my hair to go back for some reason, whether I want it to go back in like a messy kind of ponytail, or I want it to have like a little bit of volume in the top and make it look a little bit messier. I use it for that. Or if I want to blow dry my hair back because I want to do like a slick, like straight back hair kind of situation, that's what I use it for. I use this also like low key instead of a hairspray, if that makes sense. So in the morning, like when I go to the gym, I'll put a couple spritzes of this in my hair, so that way my hair actually stays back in a ponytail. I don't know, it just works really, really well, and it dries different than a hairspray. If you use a lot, it can dry crunchier, but if you use a little bit, it doesn't really dry that crunchy, but it still holds really, really well. So I've gone through a lot of this stuff. I use this stuff like water. I use it all the time, like practically every single day I use it. So I love the Jouer wave spray. There's also a lot of other Jouer products that I love. This is like, I feel like what I use the most often with my hair this year. All right, so the next two products that I have are from the same brand, but they do very different things. Well, they're both from R&Co, and the first one is the glossing wax. I like to think of this as like first half of the year and second half of the year for me. So the glossing wax is exactly like it sounds, it's a glossy wax. So it's kind of like a pomade and a hairspray mixed together for your hair, and it's very, very shiny. So in the beginning of the year, I was really into slick back ponytails, mainly because I had so much breakage in my hair that it was the easiest. Hairspray wouldn't actually hold my hair because I had so many short pieces of hair. It wouldn't hold like my short hair into my long hair, if that makes sense. So I would have like short pieces pop out, and then they'd be like these short crunchy pieces hanging out of my head. Was not a good look. So it doesn't dry down all the way like a hairspray into a crunch. It stays like kind of more fresh and like tacky kind of, but it works so well if you want to do slick back hair or a sleek, wet looking ponytail. But that's the only time I use that product, is for like slicking it back. I don't really use it for leaving it down, I don't think. And then the next product, which is like my current favorite, like my second half of the year kind of vibe. This is the dry shampoo paste from R&Co, and this is, it looks kind of like clay in here. But you take some out and you rub it into your hands, and it kind of turns into like more of a liquid, which is, it's kind of a weird feeling. It's like a weird texture situation. But I use that to add grit to my hair. I use it to add volume to my hair instead of using a texturizing spray, just because sometimes using a texturizing spray can weigh down your hair a little bit too much. I just really like to use that. Like when I put a bend in my hair, I'll put it in the actual bend, kind of do this in it, and it just makes it fluffier. I feel like it adds a lot of zhuzh to the hair. That's one of the reasons why I really love it. But even if you have like longer hair, if you want to add a zhuzh to your waves, if you have longer hair, you could just use some of this and kind of just piece through it, and it just adds really, really nice volume to your hair. All right, so that wraps up my best of 2017, all my favorite products for the past year. It's a lot of pressure putting all these items together. I'm like, I really hope I didn't miss something. That is everything that I have for the past year that I've really been loving. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. What are your personal faves, personal absolute live and die for favorites from the past year? I'm really excited to see what 2018 brings makeup-wise, makeup, hair, and skincare, okay? I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching.
Go, Turb.
Come on, Turb.
Look at her, Turb.
Oh my god! Oh. Turb! Okay, okay, don't test me.
Big dumb rock.
Go do whatever you're gonna go do. Go. Go.
It's a wrap on Turbo.
Oh god. You know what else I want to leave in 2017? This curdled collar. I really can't talk sometimes. I just want to punch myself in the face.